Hi everyone, so in this video I just wanted to discuss the whole topic of how do I track my progress in the context of losing fat or a body transformation. What are some of the key ways that I can track things? So number one, the general rule of thumb is, are you losing weight? The general public would state, are you losing weight? That's this golden rule, this golden metric. Well, I would say this whole game is always context dependent. It will always be that way. Now, if you are clinically obese and incredibly overweight, you weigh 150 kilos, you're 60% plus in body fat, yes, the absolute number on that scale is so important to decrease to get back to health. Dead on. I think a lot of people would obviously agree. Now, when you get down to normal levels of body weight, when it comes to your BMI, that's when it becomes a bit more of a grey area. Now, in the context of a body recomposition, i.e. you're increasing muscle and you're decreasing fat, your body weight isn't going to always be the most important thing to look at, the most important data point. You can still track it, but it's not going to be the most important thing. So if you increase lean muscle mass and you decrease fat, you could maintain weight from 0 months to 6 months. You could be the same scale weight, but you could look very different from A to B. Now, the general public would say, you know, if you're only relying on the scale weight, you've made no progress. You obviously know you have. This is where some key measurements come in. So firstly, quantitative being measurements. I would say waist being number one. Hips, quads, calves, arms, maybe for guys, across your chest, shoulders. But the most important thing here is to standardize them, to make them reliable. The procedure at which you actually measure yourself, make sure it is reliable and reproducible. The last thing you want is to become disheartened because the figures are all over the place. So that would be number one. And then obviously qualitative. So photographs. These are massively important. You can look in the mirror and you can almost lie to yourself and think, am I really making progress? And you can get really disheartened. You might be slightly bloated and you might feel like you put on body fat. So photographs are very important, but you must standardize them as well. And when I say standardize, I mean the same lighting, the same background, ideally the same time of day, i.e. you haven't just eaten or just had 4 liters of water to where it's going to bloat you slightly. So same time of day, everything standardized. Photographs can be fantastic to objectively just look A versus B, week 0, week 2, 4, 6, 8. It can paint a very good picture, no pun intended. And then obviously you can do non-scientific ways as well. So how do your jeans fit? How does your dress fit? These can all give you sort of psychological wins when your belt is one more in, or you've dropped a dress size, you obviously know. But relying on weight is not always going to paint the whole picture. Now, you can still do it. You can still do it to give you a guide, but it's not the only data point you look at. It's not the only one. But I also think in this sort of context, if you're more of like in a normal BMI, don't measure yourself or weigh yourself every single day. Daily fluctuations in body weight are going to be very, very natural. You're looking at it too zoomed in if you're looking at it on a daily basis. It's just like the stock market. If you're staring at it daily, oh, it went up 0.1%, don't worry, zoom out over 10 years and it paints a good picture. I wouldn't say 10 years for this case. I would say weekly or bi-weekly. It paints a good picture for progress. And you don't have to worry about hydration status absolutely ruining your body weight for the morning. So yeah, so some key takeaways, I would say, don't rely on your body weight as the key thing if you're around that kind of normal body weight range. And then use measurements, waist being number one. If you're only going to take one, take the waist, and then photographs, and then standardize them all. Yeah, so hopefully if you've been lost in the weeds with how do I track progress, or you're just staring at those scales and you want that number to go down at any cost, understand that there are other ways. But the caveat being, this whole topic is if you're doing things correctly, if you want to look better, which is you've got to increase your lean muscle mass and you've got to reduce your fat. And a great way to do that is resistance training. So this doesn't apply if you're starving yourself and all you're doing is running to where you're losing body weight mass and lean muscle mass and body fat and you're just shrinking to nothing. This refers to body composition enhancements. So yeah, so hopefully this helps and you can gain some insight from it. Thank you.